Great. Hey, it's Sean Hart. I'm still in Sydney, Australia at the amazing Southern Seller Fest,
Okay.
and I run into my friend Yulia. I know you're the second part of you is traveling around the U.S. right now, and my
Correct.
rental car left over.
That's very true. Thank you for that.
Sebastian. So hopefully he's seeing this. Yulia, how do you find this event so far?
I think it's very nice. I've been here last year as well. And I think this year they actually improved it for both sellers and service providers and sponsors. There's a lot more communication, a lot more networking going on. So in general, very, very good, very, very positive. I go to a lot of events,
Yes,
as
you do.
Sean might know. And this one for Southeast Asia and kind of Oceanic, this is one of the best ones, I'd say. So
Okay.
it's very nice. You have a very decent amount of people. You have a lot of sellers, not only from Australia, but you got sellers from US as well, and even some European ones who are based here. And a lot of them, they not only sell in Australia, but also in US and in Europe and some other countries. So that's
Okay.
pretty cool.
So, what do you think is the big difference besides the fact that Southern Seller Fest has their own continent? What is the biggest difference in this event? Because I've noticed a totally different vibe here of all the places I go to. You and I were just talking off camera here about all our favorite events.
Yeah.
I was not here last year,
Mhm.
but I guarantee you, if it's possible, I'll be here next year. If not, I'll send someone to represent our company. But to me, it's just a totally different vibe. It's almost like Yulia's sellers are not afraid to share their highly guarded secrets with one another. What do you think?
I think it comes from the people a lot, and it comes from the people living here in Australia, even if they come from other countries like US or Italy or Greece. I've met a lot of immigrants here as well. I think it's the local culture where the people are more chill, and they're like, oh, well, I'm going to share the information with you. What's the problem? I don't see a problem with that. Whereas if you go like in Germany, I remember back in the day when Sebastian was talking to people and asking, oh, so what product do you sell? And people go, I don't want to tell you because I'm afraid you're going to steal the information.
Exactly.
So Sebastian started sharing what we're selling, and then it kind of spread within the community and everyone became more open. But here I feel there's a lot more openness in the first place, and that's
Sure.
the first thing. And second thing, did you notice how many women are actually here?
Yes, for your team, there is a large representation of lady sellers here, I have to admit.
It's insane. I've never seen such, and I noticed this last year as well. I've never seen this in US or anywhere in Europe. So here you have so many female sellers. I don't know why, but maybe they got
Okay.
more guts here than in
So,
Europe.
so basically, you're saying there's more of an abundance mindset within the seller community in Australia, and not so much like I'm going to get it before you get it, or it's like there's plenty to go around, and most of the sellers here know that they're not going to get it all.
Yep.
So instead of a scarcity mindset, if you will, it's more of an abundance. Let's help each other.
I think it works on kind of two levels. Level one is people don't have so much competition here in the country, and they don't have so many Amazon groups where they interact with one another, like networking, meetups and things like this. So they are not as exposed to others and to the kind of the horror that sometimes happens within those communities, listings being stolen, products being stolen, copied, etc., etc. So I think that's the first thing. And second, I think because the community is small, but they're getting such a concentrated hit of amazing high quality content and knowledge that it kind of like gives them a higher level play field, right?
I love it. Yes.
In comparison to everywhere else.
So during my presentation yesterday, I was speaking right before lunch, and the room was so warm and receptive to my message. Although the lights are kind of bright, a lot of times, where I go, you'll see people that are just kind of like, but here they were really receptive, taking pictures, writing
They
things
want
down.
the information.
Exactly.
They're hungry.
Exactly. I think so. So maybe the seller community, there's a fly here. The seller community is sort of feels left out from the rest of the world, maybe because they're so far away.
How long does your flight take?
24 hours.
Yeah, there you go.
And so the fact that we're willing to come here and share with them, I think they're humbled and they are receptive, and warm when it comes to having conversation, because
They
they just
want the
come up to you.
information. They want
Yeah.
the information. They have the hunger. They're here to listen. I've met a lot of these people. A lot of these people are our customers, existing customers. A lot of people I know, I met them in US. I met them on the Mexico trip. I met them in other countries, and they just have a totally different attitude. They are hungry for knowledge. They're hungry for business, and they're positive. It's the sun. Right,
It's the
you
sun.
kind of live in the south. You're a
I do.
positive
I love the
person. It's
sun.
very different from people in the Nordics, right? In the Nordics, in Europe, very stoic, right? So
Yes.
there is a huge difference to that, and I think
Yeah.
they have that positivity.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about that. Yeah, because really, bright sun and HD sunlight and
You
blue
have that
skies gives
energy.
you
You
a
want
good
to do stuff, right?
That's true. So
Yeah.
for me, Yulia, when I come to these events, obviously I'm here to serve the seller community
Yep.
and try to do the best at that. But more than the content, which don't get me wrong, the content is top notch, top shelf content, but it's more about the networking. It's about meeting people, even though, like you said, these are customers that we're already working with. The fact that you can look at them and shake their hand and have conversations about life and business goes a long way. Wouldn't you agree?
100%. A lot of these people who are our existing customers, they come to me and they say, "Oh my God, Martha is so amazing. Their project manager, we love her." Or Yulia is so amazing. Or Christine. And for us, it's like, they give the feedback about the ladies because the ladies deal with them directly.
Okay.
And it's insane. And they're literally saying, "I will never do sourcing on my own ever again." This is
You
not
love to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not my goal, but it's nice to hear that you're helping the community, right? That we've been selling on Amazon since 2014, and we know it's not all roses and birds and puppies and
Rainbows and lollipops.
There you go.
That's
Yeah,
what we say. I'm going to grab a selfie while we're here.
It's not. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of disappointment. It's a lot of shut down listings and all that crap.
Yes.
And you need to be helpful. Right? And I think you need to be helpful and honest within the community. If you're just trying to sell shit, excuse me for saying the bad word, if you're just trying to sell shit, it's not going to work anymore.
This was family friendly, but
sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm not a native English speaker. That's my good excuse. But you need to deliver good quality content, and you need to be helpful to people. I mean, you've seen a lot of speeches here, right? Yesterday and today we started, and no one is pitching, right? No one is kind of selling or anything. People are just trying to give as much actionable content so a person can return home and do all of that stuff on their own.
Beautiful. So as far as you've been here since day one, or actually day -2, probably.
Correct. Yes.
You come from Thailand. What is the most actionable technology or strategy or content that you've seen so far that you think is going to change the seller industry?
I've seen actually a few interesting things. So one of the things, it was Tim, I think, was talking about this, that they will be doing advertising that is not native, like on Amazon, that is not native to the...
You were at the VIP dinner?
Yeah. That is not native to the products, but they will start bringing in like outside, I don't know, dry cleaners or something. So this
insurance
is insane.
quotes and things like that. Yeah.
But
what was the word he used for that? Non-Semitic or something?
Yeah,
some type
something
of advertising.
Like
it sounded really smart.
It sounded very
but
smart.
It came from Tim Jordan, so
But I had the lamb chop laying in front of me, so I was kind of half
You had the lamb?
Yeah, I had the lamb.
I was stuck with the scallop and salmon.
Yeah.
A little jealous.
So that was definitely something interesting. And my next thought is, how can this be used to the benefit of the sellers? You can be a seller and you can be a service provider, right? So as a service provider, for example, I can easily advertise on Amazon, which is awesome. We do product sourcing, right? But what if you can also advertise something that's related to your products that you sell on Amazon, and you kind of can create some additional service you deliver around your products,
right?
So can use it for your own benefit. So I really, really like that.
Fair enough. Yeah. So as sellers are sitting at home in their own little world, in their bubble, and they only know what they know, and they don't know what they don't know. When you come to a conference or something like this and you start working with other sellers, you learn these things, and you can get fast mover advantage when you know first what's coming out with the new tools.
I mean, look, you're in the industry, I'm in the industry, Sebastian, everyone. And like this thing, I didn't know. You know why? Because first of all, there is information overload. I see so many postings of tons of amazing information on LinkedIn, but I physically cannot read everything. I have like 160 unread messages on my WhatsApp.
That's funny. That's what Kevin King just said. did you see the $1 billion sellers? They're like, yeah, there's 1,900 unread messages. There's no way I'm going to read it all.
Exactly.
Can you
So
summarize it for me?
our lives are so busy right now that people from 20 years ago, their heads would probably explode with everything we're doing. So yeah, coming to these things, you literally get the fancy saying the golden nuggets, right? Like the most important things within the industry, especially when you have a certain level of experts on the panels and speakers, etc., etc.
So
yeah.
how, Yulia, do you sift and sort out the BS from the actionable? Because like you said, you can't consume it all. How do you decide what you're going to take action on when you leave here?
Logic.
Logic. Okay.
Female logic. No. I mean, look, it whether works or it doesn't, you see what is the way of least you see what is the way of least resistance, what is the way of most resistance, and you try to logically compare where will be the strongest results, right? Because
Okay.
on most of the occasions you get the best results when you have most resistance, right? It's like in any place or in anything that you do, the only way that you grow is when you get yourself out of the comfort zone and you feel uncomfortable, right? And this is the way you grow.
So we have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Try
Exactly.
new things, test new things.
Exactly.
So for those sellers out there who are watching or listening to this,
Or sleeping,
and you're thinking about maybe making that trip across 17 time zones and crossing the international date line half the time. I'm just making this up. All 9 continents and crossing the international date line 5 times. Is it worth it? The ROI for a seller on time and money, is it worth it to come here? So your recommendation on a 1 to 10 scale, what should we do if we're thinking about, no, thanks, I'll just join the next virtual summit online or watch a Zoom. Get here on a 1 to 10, what do you say?
I would say it's haha 11, but I would say 12, 13, 14, 15, go higher. Look, the point being is virtual is one thing, but why do you think all of the people who were like screaming, oh, I'm working remote right now, that Corona came, all of them want to go back to the office? The efficiency is different, the effectiveness is different, the everything is different. It's not as good when you do things in person. It's as simple as that. And when you're here, look, meeting you in person, right? You can, if you come here or for any other event, you can meet you in person.
That's
or
true.
Kevin Keane or Tim Jordan or Amy
I can wear your husband's glasses.
You can wear Sebastian's glasses, right? You can meet all of those people. On the virtual summit, when there are like 500 people or 1,000, you don't have that opportunity to grab you and to talk to you for 20 minutes or an hour and like
and get
in
real-time
that 20
feedback.
Exactly.
Q&A.
And in that 20 minutes, I can get information that would be worth not hundreds of thousands of dollars, but millions. So you think for yourself if it's worth it for you or not. For me,
get out and do it. So we're going to send the link to Sebastian. I have strict orders to say hello and give you a hug, so we're going to do it on camera. I'm wearing Sebastian.
Aww.
So nice to see you again, Yulia. Thank you so much for hanging out. You're
No
a natural. We'll see you at the next Southern Seller Fest, hopefully. Take care.